Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you've ever wanted to make your own sourdough bread from scratch, you know the key ingredient is a healthy sourdough starter. But keeping that starter alive and thriving can feel like a bit of a mystery. Don't worry, I've got you covered. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through the basics of what you need to know about caring for your sourdough starter. Whether you're a beginner or have been baking for a while, maintaining a strong starter is crucial for delicious, airy bread. I'll explain how often to feed your starter, how to tell if it's healthy, and I'll share some tips to keep your starter happy whether you're baking every day or only once in a while. By the end of this video, you'll have a sourdough starter that's ready to bake perfect loaves every time. So let's dive in and get that starter in tip-top shape. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, ring the bell so you never miss a new video. Now, let's get started. Can you imagine taking two simple ingredients that you probably have in your kitchen and making it into a living, bubbling, fantastic way to make bread? That's what sourdough is. And we love sourdough bread in our kitchen. And I've got my sourdough right here. And as you can see, it is bubbly. And it's just made out of water and flour. That's all that is. What it does is it captures the wild yeast and bacteria in the air to create what is known as a leaven. Your yeast that you buy at the store is a leaven as well. This one has that tangy, sour taste that sourdough is known for. This was given to me by a friend. She had picked it up on the way through Mississippi, and it came from a place called on Magnolia Hill. And it was a dried powder when she gave it to me, and then I mixed it with water and then fed it flour every day, twice a day actually, for about a week so that it became active and vibrant. And now I have a good sourdough. I've had this for about 2 years. That's one of the things about sourdough. It will keep forever. It's passed from generation to generation by families, and each part of the country has a distinct flavor because the yeast in one part is not the same as another. It's known that in San Francisco, one of the places people love to get sourdough bread, that they have a distinct yeast there that gives it that San Francisco sourdough flavor. Here in Middle Tennessee, it tastes a little different, but we love the way it comes out. So with some flour, with some water, we can do that. Now you go, okay, what do you do with all this? Well, as you're feeding it and maintaining it, you have to pull off what they call the discard. And you can still make bread with that. You can make waffles, pancakes, all kinds of things with that. Or you can actually share it with a friend by feeding it, putting it in a jar, any kind of container will work. And then you can pass it on. One of the other great things about it is you can take your discard, spread it out on parchment paper, let it dry, crumble it up, put it in a airlock container, and it'll keep for a year or so is what I read. And you've always got a backup or a way to ship it across country to one of your friends, a family member, whoever would like to do sourdough. So that's kind of how sourdough starter is. Now, if you want to start from scratch, making your own, like I say, mine was given to me by a dear friend. To make yours from scratch, you would actually take equal parts water and flour, mix that up, and then twice a day, you would pull some off, half of it off, feed it, and then in the afternoon, do the same thing. You do that for a week to 10 days, and then you would have a nice, vibrant, growing, bubbly, sour-smelling leaven that you could use to make your own bread. And it's an easy process to make the bread, which is what we're going to do in some future videos and show you how to make some great sourdough breads, how to make some great English muffins, some of those kind of things. We've got one already on doing sourdough crackers. All of those come from something just like this. So we hope that you like what we're doing. Let me know what you do with your sourdough. How did you start yours? How do you maintain it? Maybe you've got some great recipes that you'd like to share. I'm going to share some recipes in some of the future videos of what we do. So I hope you enjoy sourdough, and In the morning, I wake up hungry. And that's the same way with your sourdough. It gets hungry too. The yeast and the bacteria are going to feed off the fresh flour. So you have to feed it to keep it alive and keep it active. Now, I store my sourdough in the refrigerator because then I don't have to feed it twice a day. I only feed it once a week, every 10 days. But once you pull it out and let it sit for 2 or 3 hours to bring it up to room temperature, then you will pull your discard off, use that, store it, save it, give it away. Then you need to feed your sourdough to keep it active. So the way you do that is it's a 1:1:1 ratio. 1 part sourdough, 1 part flour, 1 part water. I've got 50 grams of sourdough starter, 50 grams of flour, and 50 grams of water. So that'll keep it going. So that's what I kind of figure. You know, I weigh about 170 pounds, so I need about 170 pounds of food every day to keep me going. Well, not really, I don't need that much, but the sourdough does. And so I'm gonna feed mine, and I'm gonna dump this flour in. And that was 50 grams of flour, and this is 50 grams. You notice I'm talking in grams, which is weight and not volume. That's the best way to manage your sourdough and even your bread recipes. If you do it by the baker's chart method, then you can change your recipe, the size of your recipe, and those kind of things to make it a whole lot easier. So I've done mine a 1:1:1 ratio, and then we'll stir this up, get it good and stirred up, and make sure all the flour is wet. Then I'll just stick it back into the refrigerator and leave it there till the next time I need it. The discard that I pulled off this, I'm actually going to make some sourdough English muffins. One of the things you'll want to do with your sourdough is you can see some of the stuff on the sides here. I try to get as much of that off as I can, but occasionally, once a month, once every 6 weeks, I will dump this out into a different jar or a different bowl, and then I'll clean up my jar that I typically keep this in. Just like every once in a while you need to clean your house, well, this is cleaning the house for the sourdough. Remember, it is a living organism, so you need to keep it in a good, clean place. When you let your sourdough sit, and maybe when you pull it out, you may notice a little liquid on top. That is some alcohol that's released from the work of the yeast and the bacteria. Some people pour that off. I usually just mix mine right back in. Either way is fine, but just don't be alarmed if you see a little liquid. If you get an off smell that's not your typical sourdough smell, or you see other things growing on it, you probably have a different problem, and you may want to get rid of all of it and just start all over again. But I hope this helps you in your walk with your sourdough. Let me know how you take care of yours, and if you do something a little different. I really would like to learn. I'm new at this and enjoy learning. So comment down below and let me know. Like us, subscribe to our channel. We release a new video every other Thursday. And so you can keep up with where we are and what we're doing. And we'd love to hear from you. So comment down below, please.